What I would like is to start introducing you the ecosystem. Maybe some of you already know pretty well this ecosystem of application in the future internet, PPP. Some of you may know, but what is important is to understand that today and tomorrow we are having the XIFI training that is for a tool called FIWARE Ops that you have here. What we decided is that we will forget about projects. We will concentrate on 3 different brands in the future internet PPP. The first brand is called FIWARE. FIWARE are the generic enablers. That means the generic services that will be offered in the different nodes, different infrastructures. FIWARE Lab, it's the lab where any developer can experiment. And FIWARE Ops, that is the training today and tomorrow, it's for the tools for building your node and participate in this ecosystem to ease your operations so you can participate in FIWARE Lab offering the FIWARE services. Here you can find more information about FIWARE and the FI-PPP, and I'm going to present this ecosystem. First of all, what we offer here in the future internet PPP is not only about networks, it's not only about computers. What this offering is a full ecosystem that is building the operating system of the future internet, that is FIWARE. What we want to build is what we call this the next computer. That means that we are going to present new concepts, so the operating system of the future internet is built with that technology. We are offering generic enablers for many of the services that you may expect. For example, big data, Internet of Things, interface to network, cloud computing. That means that it's not only dedicated to computers or networks, it's a whole ecosystem that is covering the needs of, as he said, of developers for the future internet. The goal is to really capture the opportunities and focus on different domains. That means that with the same technology we can focus to domains such as tourism, government, energy, health, mobility, etc. As I said, these 3 different tools are the cornerstone of the ecosystem. FIWARE, the generic open and standard platform. FIWARE Lab, that is the meeting point of the dynamic ecosystem where the developers will go to test and use that services. And FIWARE Ops, that is the suite of tools for easing the deployment and operation of FIWARE instance nodes. And then not only these tools, but also we'll have what we call the specific enablers. That means that are services dedicated to a specific sector. For example, for content production or for streaming, we'll have dedicated enablers. As I said, today we are going to cover these FIWARE Ops and how to use it in FIWARE Lab and with the FIWARE enablers. What we want is to create a common standard. That means that everybody is using it as I say, the operating system of the future internet. The FI-PPP is not about only technology, but it's technology that works. So you are trying to find incredible research and new technology for scientific papers. This is not the point. The point is to do technology that works and that is product ready. That means that it's open and is useful for market deployment. That is open source, that can serve as a commercial offer, and that is driven by the industry. What we want is to really find the results to be exploitable in the near future, 4 or 5 years. That means that we are very close to the exploitation in the third phase of the future internet PPP. We'll start mainly in September, and is product-oriented and different from what we call the project-oriented. There's a lot of investment, as you may see, and the third phase will be dedicated to developers. Okay, developers means startups, means SMEs, and means that entrepreneurs will use that technology to create new businesses. FIWARE is an advanced OpenStack-based cloud plus rich library of unique enablers. FIWARE, the different enablers, are based on a distribution, a cloud distribution called OpenStack, that I understand that you are aware of this and you have some knowledge about it, especially because tomorrow we will start by that. And surrounded by a set of different services that we want really to power and use them. So the idea is that they are used to build new services. And it's driven by what we call implementation. In FIWARE, there are specifications that are open, and then will be implementations that will be open source, but mainly what we have here is the open specification to create your enablers or to use them. For that, there's a new project called FICORE that will take over this work. The second point is FILAB. FILAB is going beyond what we call the technology. It is a meeting point where the open innovation ecosystem will be boosted. That means that customers and data providers can push their data to connect to entrepreneurs, have some visibility, some cost savings. The entrepreneurs or developers can have real data, can run trials, can use the enablers, can provide new businesses, can accelerate the product development. And the FIWARE technology providers are, of course, adding value to the technology and connecting to these entrepreneurs. All of this is FILAB. And FILAB is the meeting point, that is the entry point of the developers for that part. We made a lot of effort in the promotion. There's a lot of campaigns for challenges. There was 800,000 euros in prizes. There was a lot of funding in the third phase, around 100 million for entrepreneurs. So that means that this is an ecosystem that will be boosted in the near future. What we offer to developers? What we offer to the developers is, as I said, is not only the technology, but it's a true open innovation ecosystem. It's not that the developer can use any of the technologies, can load in a SourceForge or in any repository, use it, and that's all. What we want is to create an open ecosystem where the developers can go there, understand the technology, and work in an ecosystem called FILAB. And FILAB is one of the tools that we want to really promote, and as an entry point, as I have said, and the enablers that are these FIWARE enablers to be used instead of using other services from Amazon or Google Apps to use this FIWARE concept. And here comes what we are doing today and tomorrow. It's empowering FIOps. The project XIFI is to update and deploy a federation of sustainable open federation of test infrastructures. That means that for FILAB, it's not only one infrastructure, one node. What we want is to create an ecosystem also of infrastructure offering that services that are federated and working in a coherent way. That means that we are creating a community cloud offering that FIWARE services and establish a unique marketplace to address this commercial exploitation and create a common framework of the infrastructures in Europe. So you are here and you are really in the place to create a big infrastructure ecosystem where developers will use to do new businesses. Here we are going to explain how to deploy it in an easy way, so you don't need to have the burden of compilation and installation of each and every component, but you can have different tools, the FIOps suite of tools, to do that. What's this FIOps concept? FIOps is really to ease the operation of the FIWARE providers. what we are going to explain is first the deployment. I have a node, I have an infrastructure, and I want to deploy the services to create a new node. Okay, so we'll do this deployment based on the cloud hosting GM, monitoring adapters, and FIWARE node, but for you will be simpler since you will have a tool called ITBox. And then your installation will be easier than you expected. Another point is that is providing federation management. The federation management is something that we are going to use to federate the different FIWARE instances to create this community. But how to create a community if we can have connectivity? FIOps is also providing the connectivity management. That means that you can connect all the infrastructures, so we have a real federation, and we can control the connectivity with different tools of FIOps. Interconnection, different multi-domain VPN, with different SCN technology, and this is something that will come to you. Also, of course, we will have the monitoring to understand how the system is working, and have service offer management. That FIOps is not only the base, also is offering services such as marketplace and services tool, security dashboard that you will find out that are helping you to configure your node, taking care of your security, taking care that are accessing to the right place and are providing the right services. All of this will be explained today, and you will do the hands-on tomorrow. What we are going to offer? What we are going to offer is extending this FIWARE Lab at least this year to 17 new, to 12 new nodes, and have at least 17 nodes offering this FIWARE Lab to all developers in Europe. But not only in Europe, because we are expecting also to have nodes at least in Mexico and Brazil. So that means that we are building this global concept for the future internet. This is a map that maybe you find out where's my infrastructure there. What this means, that we are not only having what we call some services, and we are providing the same infrastructure. Some of them are specialized infrastructure, so that means some of them are including sensor networks, some of them open data, Mixer, or cloud. That means that this ecosystem is covering all FIWARE chapters and offering a single venue in FIWARE Lab where developers can find out and say, okay, this is the right infrastructure, I want to use it to deploy my services. This is really important since in Europe there's a lot of infrastructures that are really offering some services and that wants to participate in this ecosystem. With FIOps, it's easier since the installation of a new node, it's easier, and also what is important is that you will have support from a technical team that can help you to really deploy your node and understand the architecture you need. This is a map of the different nodes that we'll have in this year, but of course we'll have new infrastructure that are coming and calling us and saying, I want to participate in this ecosystem because we see really the value of participating here. And this is what we want to offer. As I said, we have 5 nodes. In March 2014, we are now completing with new nodes, and this additional 12 nodes will be available in September. So we are adding more than 1,000 cores, more than 2 terabytes RAM, more than 200 terabytes of hard disk. We are having, as you can see, different dedicated, infrastructures for sensor networks, energy measurement, open data, media services, so we have some specialization too. We will provide level 1 and 2 support for the nodes, that is really important. And we are going to showcase for the developers infrastructure and smart businesses. That means that we will find applications in this ecosystem that we can show that really the future internet concept is working and is providing something more than only technology. And this is what we want to do. For this FIWARE Lab, are not only stopping here. There are, in a project called Infinity, there's a repository called XIFI, and there are registered more than 238 infrastructures that are profiled with their data really with a deep understanding of what they provide, with a technical, economic, and social perspective of each infrastructure, to understand the relationship between different infrastructures, to compare them. And this is a tool where there's many infrastructures in Europe that really we want to address, to incorporate to this FIWARE Lab concept. Just to advance a bit, as I say, that we have also domain-specific platforms that are possible to do with the FIWARE Lab and FIWARE and FIOPS. That, for example, we can create a specific platform for smart agri-food, for smart cities, for a smart factory, are currently working and running based on these three tools that I have explained. And this is something that is happening. You may understand the European Commission is making a strong bet on this. What we want is to take the opportunity to have a sustainable model so we can create real businesses out of this. And I think it's not only important what the politicians say, what is important is what the developers say. And this is what we are testing, and in FIWARE Lab there are a lot of developers that are using. I want in this near future to have at least 1,000 more entrepreneurs doing businesses with FIWARE Lab. Also, there are some cities that are connecting to FIWARE Lab. For example, in Italy, there are some cities that want to provide also their data, to have push their open data so anybody can develop application on top of that. In Spain and Finland, and we're discussing with new countries like Mexico, Brazil. The FIWARE challenges are really working pretty well. You can find this is in Brazil Campus Party, and there were a lot of teams with brilliant ideas, quite amazing results with only a price of some hundreds euros, and people were really happy to use that ecosystem. Some entrepreneurs that were working with Amazon tools in the past now are working with these tools that we are presenting. So what we want is to really be ambitious and find more and more entrepreneurs and SMEs and startups really working on that model. There's, as I say, the promotion campaign, 100 million euros of funding from the European Commission to SMEs and web entrepreneurs working with that tools, FIWARE and FIWARE Lab, and the expansion to several countries. What I want to finalize is with a message to you, and then I will give another video because it will be funnier than listening to me. It's that this is an ecosystem that is not only going to the next year to have some funding from the European Commission and then go home. This is something that we will think that will be the future of the future internet in Europe. We will really think that this is something that will be used in the future. It's not only ending next year, it's just starting. And it's just starting not because of us doing this technology, it's because there are people interested in using it, in developing their businesses and the new applications, creating businesses based on this operating system of the future internet.